First of all, I'd like to say I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, I'm well pleased to say that I have enjoyed with much delight listening to the dreams of the saints of God over the internet, over the YouTube uh, broadcast in the dream column. And some of you all have had some very, very powerful and enlightening dreams, and I'm glad that you all decided to share those dreams with us. My name is Minister Harry Drone. I am the author of this particular book called Influenced by the Devil, Saved by God. This is a must read thing. This is one powerful book. It deals with a lot of things. It deals with the color of Jesus. It deals with the birthright and the scepter right, who it really belongs to. It deals with our lost identity, the Sabbath day scam that is currently taking place. It talks about many things that you and I are familiar with, that some of you are not familiar with. But one of the main topics in this book is about deliverance from satanic possession and persecution. So this book is a must-read book by Minister Harry Drone. You can find it on Amazon. Just type in Harry Drone, HARRYDRONE, and you can support my home-based ministry by making a gift or a donation for one of these books. My second book I have available for our reading audience is called Police Brutality is a Hate Crime. We got to put emphasis on that, you know. We got to spread the word. Police brutality is a hate crime. It's not a love crime. It is a hate crime. This book was also written by me. It has a lot of good hardcore content about the reality of police brutality and the things that we can do to stop it. So my main purpose here tonight is to inform you about a dream I had concerning the coming of the Lord. And before I get into that dream, I want to say that that book, Police Brutality is a Hate Crime, can also be found on Amazon.com by typing in my name, Harry Drone. That's HARRYDRONER. Police Brutality is a Hate Crime. But let me hastily get into the dream I had because I don't have very much time left. Now, what I want to say is that one night God came to me in a dream after I came home from a church service. I was having some problems in the church with the pastoralship there and some of the congregants there. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. I was kind of lost in time. I remember coming home with my parents that night about this time. I guess I was in my early 20s. I came home I went upstairs to go to bed, and I prepared myself to go to bed. But however, before I went to bed, as usual, I knelt down on my knees to pray. At this particular time, I was feeling a little downcast or crestfallen, melancholy. I was a little bit depressed, disturbed, and I wanted to consult God about what to do in my present or current situation at that time. I remember praying, but I also remember falling asleep, and I really don't know how I got into bed that night, but I remember going into a deep, deep sleep, a deep, deep trance. It was like I was in some type of comatic or some type of tranquilized sleep. But I realize now that it was God who put me to sleep for this particular reason and this particular purpose, because He wanted to share something very, very unique, something very, very special and powerful with me concerning the coming of the Lord. I'm trying to get right to the specifics of the detail. I remember finally going to sleep. I remember in this particular dream, I still had on the same black suit that I wore to church that night, but I remember appearing as a small ant in this particular dream. I also remember that it was gross dark. I remember that I was all alone. I remember that an object was coming out of the midst of the darkness, out of the heaven, and it appeared to be a moon-shaped object. It also appeared to have a hollowed out space in the back of this moon-shaped object that was suspended in the sky. It also had circumventing it clouds that were illuminated by some type of a divine cosmic light. This object was so impressive to me in the dream. I remember looking up. I remember being startled. I remember being shocked. And I remember wondering what was it that made this object, rather these clouds, illuminated around this moon-shaped object. And at that particular time, as I began to look up in the sky and try to figure out what made the clouds illuminate, I heard the voice, believe it or not, saints, the voice of the Lord speak to me. Not because I'm special, perhaps because I wasn't special at all. Not because I'm some type of a great prophet. I'm not trying to even put myself in that particular category, because I know that I'm not at this current or present time. But nevertheless, I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you the truth about what I experienced and what I heard and what I believe concerning the Lord. I remember a voice speaking to me as I stared gazingly into the sky at the object in the sky. A voice very, very shocking, a voice very, very horrifying. A voice that was electrifying, that could penetrate to the marrow of your bone. I heard a voice say to me, and it sounded something like this: go tell my people I'm coming. That voice electrified me. That voice scared me to death. That voice shocked me. I remember leaping up out of the bed horrified, running, looking for the light switch, but as I was looking for the light switch, I remember shaking, I remember trembling, I remember putting my hand over my mouth as I began to speak in another tongue uncontrollably. I remember all these things very vividly, very clearly. I found the light switch and I was still trembling. I was still shaking after having this great experience. But there was another detail about this particular dream that I do remember. I remembered that there were objects scattered all over the earth, metallic objects like metal, gold, silver, brass, copper, iron, all looked like chaff pieces scattered all over the earth. But I didn't really know what it meant at that particular time the way that I understand it today. And you would have to read the book of Daniel beginning at the 2nd chapter and around about, if I'm correct, about the 29th verse. Concerning the horrible dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. And I believe that the earth-like object that came hurling toward the earth that struck this particular image that caused it to turn the metallic objects into chaff that seemed to blow away. I believe that this particular dream and these objects represented the coming of the Lord. So I entitled this particular videotape to my YouTube audience is "Tell My People That I Am Coming." This is not a game. This is not a lie. Whether you believe it or not, the Lord knows whether or not He spoke to me. He knows whether or not He spoke to you. But we, the true children of God, we know that God speaks to us in dreams and visions. So I say to you, prepare yourself physically, spiritually, psychologically, for the greatest event that is about to take place. Prepare yourself for the coming of the Lord. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. Love you. I'll talk to you later. Don't forget to try to help us out in my home-based ministry. Just go to Amazon.com, Harry Drone, or either look for one of my books, Influenced by the Devil, Saved by God, or Police Brutality is a Hate Crime. Love y'all. Take care, man.